Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we are going on with our unit review after the Adepta Sororitas rework patch, since it's changed how a lot of these units function. Last time we had a 2-for-1 because 2 units didn't significantly change, the Classiest and Anchor Saints, but today we are going to move on to the Sisters of Repentia. Now, the big thing is some of their abilities changed here, so I'll play around with them to see how they feel. I think they should still be a pretty good unit, but I'm not quite sure because the martyrdom got taken away, so now they're not going to be giving a momentum to everybody around them as they're dying, which was sometimes a good strategy to have. And then I don't know if their new ability is going to end up giving them automatic counterattack, because how it would work before with their upgraded damage as special ability is they would end up taking more damage and they would get counterattacked even if they were doing rear attacks, but I don't know if that's going to necessarily be the case anymore, because the game wanted you to get these Sisters of Repentia killed. It's like, get in there, do a shit ton of damage, get them killed, and then as each model died, if you used your special ability, it would then give momentum to everybody around them to help keeping your other units alive, and then increasing your command points to help you get to buffing your other units. So it was kind of a very interesting dynamic unit. So I think they definitely simplified them with these new changes. But first, if you're enjoying these videos, please give my channel a like and subscribe, and now we'll go through the sisters. So the Sisters of Repentia, they cost 90 points. And they're a very good unit. Like I said, these are like the embodiment of glass cannons. So for those 90 points, you have 5 models that each have 55 health, 1 action point, 4 movement, 1 armor, which is the lowest armor you can have in the game. Nothing has 0 armor. And as you can see, they're using their workout clothes, so you wouldn't expect them to have any armor. And then they have 5 evasion at baseline. The big thing about these guys is they have the Penitent Eviscerators, and these are amazing melee weapons. The big thing is they only have 1 attack, so if they miss, that's really bad, because now you're dropping your damage pretty precipitously here. So the base weapon has 37 to 50 damage, armor piercing of 7, and has an accuracy of 90%. Unfortunately, with that 90%, it seems like it rolls more like an 80% accuracy most of the time. So what you want to do is try to buff these guys up if you can to get the most of their attacks. Now, while the ability icon looks the same, the way this works is different. And I'm going to have to play around with this, because now how it works is you'll unload them from a transport, or if you have them around, just running around and you didn't use this ability on the first turn, you can select it, and then what it does is it makes you have a special charge attack. And so what happens, you'll do a charge attack. Let's say you have 4 movement because you haven't moved them yet. Well, then you're going to have 40% increased damage, because you're going to get 10% damage per movement point spent. But it only lasts for the first attack. So in the past, what you would do with the old ability is you'd use it, you'd attack, and then if you gave them the Rites of Intercession, you could then attack a second time and have these guys buffed up. Now, you would end up losing a model unless the counterattack didn't land, but at 5 evasion, that was unlikely to be the case. Whereas now you'll just have 1 super powerful movement, or 1 super powerful charge attack, and then have regular attacks after that. Now, the big thing is you do get +1 movement when you use this, so you'll be able to charge guys that are even farther away than you would expect to be able to if you don't have them into a transport. Now, you can still unload them from a transport and use this ability, but you got to remember your movement will be down to 2, so then you're only going to have a 20% damage buff with that first attack. Now, if you keep these guys alive, you can use the Absolution in battle. And so how this works is whenever this unit makes a weapon attack, or when one of the models in the unit is killed, you'll gain a stack of the Absolution in battle. And what that does is it gives you +5 melee accuracy and +5 graze chance when you're getting attacked. So it's not that your weapons are going to start grazing more, it's that when you get attacked, you have a chance to turn some of those attacks into grazes. And then this can stack up to 5 times. So that way, when you are getting attacks here, you can potentially get up to 25 melee accuracy and 25 graze chance. So that can work out pretty well in your favor if you can keep these guys alive. Now the big thing is you got to decide, are you just going to sacrifice them and do damage, which is very viable, because if you sit there and assassinate vehicles or HQ commanders and you can easily get 90 points of damage out of them, you typically don't want to attack other infantry units unless you're doing Terminators or something very powerful, because they're just going to overkill with their attacks. But like I was insinuating before, these are a unit I definitely like to use the Rites of Intercession on, because it'll give you plus 10% bonus HP for 2 turns, and it'll also give you an extra AP, so now these guys can get 2 attacks, especially if they're in good position, and if they survive, then all of a sudden those 2 attacks are giving them plus 10 melee and 10 graze chance. But you can push it even further. You can give them some momentum and 25% bonus, or 15% bonus HP if you end up giving them the Litany of Devotion, and then you can buff their damage by 15% if you use the Sister Superior here to help buff them. But you can do even more. You can then give them the Medicus Manostorum, and that'll give them another 10% bonus HP, and now they're going to have a minus 10 damage mitigation. So now, as you can see, as you're giving all these units bonus HP, now they're actually going to have a decent HP pile where they might actually be able to take some hits or survive a Flamer attack. Which can definitely work out for your favor, especially if you have something like a Rhino nearby, because you just pop smoke, and now all of a sudden these guys have 20 resistance, well over 30 bonus HP, and they have a 10% damage mitigation, so that can help you keep these guys alive for sure. And then if you do survive, all those attacks that are going to go into these guys are then going to get converted into the Absolution in battle and help you guarantee some attacks. So that's kind of the most effective way of using these. Like I said, usually when I'm playing against another player, why don't I just do it, because I feel like I'm shortchanging you. I'll have a Rhino instead of these immolators here, but you can put them in the immolators as well, because they're still transports. But generally what you'll use if you want to focus on a Repentia build is you want to do a single or double Rhino, so you can keep popping smoke to help keep them alive. So I'll try to show that here, and that way I'm also very curious to see what this looks like when you can surge that ability. Now the Absolution Battle is just a passive ability, so it does not get empowered or anything. It's kind of like the Spirit of the Martyrs ability. It just doesn't change. It's just a passive ability for the unit here. So that's kind of how I end up using these guys. The big thing that I forgot to mention is, because I use these to attack vehicles, try not to get the kill with these guys when you're killing a vehicle, because they have no armor, so that explosion does substantial damage to them and can actually wipe out a squad. And likewise, if you have some Repentia and you know you're not going to be able to kill them, and especially if there's multiple Repentia surrounding a vehicle that's almost dead, what you can do is attack with the vehicle, and then you can try to move it, and these guys will then auto-attack it with their zone of control, and then you can blow up the vehicle in their face and kill everybody. That can be an extremely cost-effective method to get effectively 2 attacks, one of which will be an AoE with your vehicle if you're fighting against the Sister Repentia. So also be aware that your opponent may do that to you. So that's why I just wanted to mention that strategy with the Sisters of Repentia, because they are very susceptible to that kind of play. So let's get started on some AI matches here and show you what they can do. Now, I think the last one I was playing against the Necrons, if I'm remembering correctly. I hate how that defaults to strategic command point. Alright, let's see here. Oh, so I guess we're going to be doing a mirror match against other sisters, so we'll see how this works here. Oh, and then the other thing is, if you can build up the Repentia's momentum, just remember they'll get increased evasion as well, just with those momentum gains, so you can definitely use that to help you here. Alright, per the standard, we'll turn one of our hospitalers into our HQ commander, and it looks like it's going to be this one over here. And then one of these rhinos, or not rhinos, immolators will be able to carry some infantry here. And then the Rhino can carry 2 and a leader. I can put the Hospital into one of these immolators as well to really help you get the maximum with your movements here. And it's actually probably going to be quicker to just keep these guys out of the vehicle, because with their movement and the action points, they're likely going to have more movement than they would in the vehicle. So this is one of the things you have to be careful with if you're playing against the Adepta Sororitas, if you're not familiar with them, is you throw all your guys into your transport. So if you see an army where there's barely anybody out there, chances are they have everybody in their vehicles, and you just got to be very careful. Now, the nice thing about that is if you're able to kill the vehicle, then you're going to be able to kill everybody that's in said vehicle. Because in this game, if a vehicle is destroyed, it'll kill everybody that's in it. They don't get unloaded and suffer explosion damage. It's just a straight up kill. So that you can definitely use that to your advantage. Actually, let's just move you up this way. Try to take advantage of the situation here. And then you can move up to here. I think I have my cannons facing the wrong direction. Alright, I hear them using their blessed ammo. Unfortunately, the AI is really stupid with the sisters because they get stuck into these buffs that they put into perpetuity. Now, this would be a situation which you wouldn't want to do with the sisters, is I have a bunch of weak overwatches at poor accuracy, so now all I've effectively done is give those guys a slight increase in their armor by giving them... Actually, they got 2 stacks of the armor? I only saw 1 attack go off. That's kind of weird. Well, I guess because they're stuck in a buffing cycle, we'll just keep you back, and I guess we'll have them attack a second time. I kind of hate to do that because that's just going to give them evasion. So I guess let's just sit you here and have them come to us. Alright, here comes some arcoflagellants. Yeah, the AI has really been trained to be scared of flamers. In the past, they would just sit back and charge into the flame like crazy. Now he's bringing the Exorcist up. I have no idea why he's doing that. Here come the Seraphim, who have bolt pistols. This is actually going to be an extremely difficult army for the Repentia to try to get experience on, because they're just doing a bunch of infantry here. So again, that would make no sense to do this, because now all of a sudden he's just decreased his evasion. So yeah, the AI just does not know how to deal with the sisters in their current situation. Now I'm going to do it here because I want that bonus damage to guarantee my kills here. Because now we've taken 2 of those guys out, and then with that bonus momentum, I can now move you up to here, and we can flame through here and attack here, and now we've wiped out 4 units with that 1 penitent engine. So in that experience, plus I've now gained 2 absolution and battle, or sorry, 4 absolution and battle stacks, and that goes up to 5. So now I have plus 20 accuracy in melee, because you get the stacks not only with the flamer but also with the penitent buzz blades. And then when you attack with this, as you see down here, it says the penitent engines gain 2 stacks when making a weapon attack here. So I think it's kind of weird that it gains it through the flamer, but I guess they just expect that it's gonna die, so they want to let you get your stacks up as much as possible so you can turn them into an amazing melee unit here. Now with you, I guess we're just gonna have to shoot into there. And I can move you up to here and flame through. And then what I'll do is move you over to here, and you can flame through here, and that should be enough to kill those guys. And now that would be 3 experience per model, which is not great. So I guess we'll just move you to here. And now they've been wiped out. You've still got your attack. So let's move you up to here. You can shoot there. Alright, I do have a hospital here.
For Catherine, for eternity.
I guess we're just going to attack here. Get you some of those buffs going. And then you can shoot here. I was expecting you to get some guaranteed kills here. Well, that's pretty disappointing. I'll bring the retributors, or the canonists down here to start attacking these guys. Because really, the bolt pistol's hand flamer should do minimal damage against her. I do need to guarantee kills against those hand flamers, though, because they will mess up my units. So let's bring you up to here. We can do a Repentia here. And then we will do a hospital here. And we'll do a charge attack here, because I want to know if you'll still have some movement here or not. Alright, you still retain your movement, so that's nice. So you can use that charge attack, close the distance, get some extra movement. But so I guess the +1 movement doesn't stick with you, it's just to help you do the charge attack. Now, it does have invulnerability to suppression, but I don't know why you'd be using these guys to charge into units with reaction fire, because you're more than likely going to suffer losses to your unit. So, let's buff your damage resistance, and we'll give you a bonus attack. And we're going to move you up to here, because I want to try to keep you alive. So let's get you that. And now we'll let you attack this vehicle here. Oh, it's just barely alive. Interesting. And of course now I've pinned you in, so until that guy dies, nobody else can move up. Well, okay then. I guess that means we'll move you to here. We'll do our sister's Repentia. Now, will you get counterattacked? Well, I guess we'll never know because you just got the kill. Well, and if I flame across there, that heavy flamer might actually be enough to kill that guy. Well, let's move you up to here, I guess. Flame there and take out the Arcoflagellants. And then what I'll do is move you up to here. Yeah, you won't be able to charge into there. But you could charge attack there.
Who needs my aid?
Fire and fury. Standing by.
So let's move you up to here. Let's get you some bonus. Get you another bonus HP. Pull you back. And now, who is his HQ commander? The one that's way over there, of course. So let's get you over here. So now they've totally killed those guys. Let's let you take that attack, I guess. I could just have you attack the Synchro Saints, but I kind of like to guarantee a kill against some of these other guys. So let's let you come over here. Oh, sure, now it's working. So it seems like it's only working against melee, but it's not getting triggered for range for some reason.
Conviction is the greatest armor.
Yeah, see, this is how you're supposed to use these Synchro Saints, but it wasn't working when I was trying it on my playthrough. See that oath here? Because it's supposed to do both by range or melee, but now it's only getting triggered by melee for some reason. Interesting.
Our lives are the Emperor's to spend.
Well, let's move you down to here.
Yes.
Although I probably should be trying to keep you alive.
The road of righteousness is soaked in the blood of the unworthy.
And you're
With
here.
faith. Who needs my aid?
I could pull you back to here. Let's do that. Hopefully that'll keep you alive. And we'll keep you back here. Yep, so buffing everybody. Crack grenade. Bolter into the penitent engine. Damn, they're gonna kill my canoness. Yep, there's the heal. Here's more buffing. There's the attacks. Here's the counter. Shoot. Yeah. Oh, another hospital back there. Ah, they did rites of intercession. Good idea.
Suffering is our prayer.
Alright, so we got this.
Our lives are the
Can't move you
Emperor's to
away. So I guess we'll just attack into melee. And if that's the case,
With
probably
haste.
want to heal these guys. Back to full health. You can attack here. Oh, you failed to get the kill.
Fire and fury.
Well, let's get you up to here. You can attack this vehicle. Alright, perfect. So now they've gained their momentum. And so if you empowered the Path of the Penitent, then you would end up increasing it to plus 15% damage per movement point used. And then it only lasts for the duration of the attack. You now get 2 additional bonus movements, so you can see how far away from the map I could actually charge these ladies to go attack somebody. You would only suffer 8 evasion, and you can't be suppressed still. So it effectively allows you to charge around the map to help getting additional damage going on there. So definitely a good unit to be using here. It's definitely a very interesting unit, that's for sure. So let's heal you here. And let's just bring our immolators up to start flaming some guys here. To help get some kills. And I don't think it's going to let me charge, so let's just move you down to here. Surge and let you kill the hospital. So they're down. Bring you over to here to shoot those guys and barely do any damage. If I move you, I don't think they're going to have zone of control. Let's see here. Let me guess. This is the bolt pistol, whereas the hand flamer is the one that I want to be attacking. Alright, so that's up to 5. So let's just attack here. Oh, you missed. Can't believe it. Well, let's get you back here. Surge. Attack again. And then our little Repentia can come over here and attack these guys. Get the kill. The issue is flamers are very dangerous to the Repentia because they have no armor.
Fire and fury.
Pull you back to here. Let you shoot into these guys. Yeah, I suppose I am giving them more armor by doing this. Because they already have pretty decent evasion, so that's probably the wrong thing to be doing. Well, let's move you up to here. They can attack you. You can flame here, because this should be enough to kill them.
The unclean shall burn. Standing by.
Bring you over to here. You can flame these guys. I probably should have given the bonus damage. And then that flame from friendly units is actually a really effective way for you to get some stacked blessed shield there. So you can always keep that into consideration as well.
Penance will be my reward.
Alright, do I have anybody else over here that can attack?
Our lives are the Emperor's to spend.
Not really. I mean, I guess you. Here's what we'll do. Do this, increase movement. Get you there. Ah, you're still a little short, unfortunately. Getting closer, though. Unfortunately, she'll be able to heal through most of this.
Your humble servant.
I guess we'll just send these Repentia over this way for our flank.
The road of righteousness is soaked in the blood of the unworthy.
Yeah, that just gave her more armor. I mean, she's gonna die, so it's not the end of the world. Alright, she's down. And then this is a Repentia video, so let's have them get the final kill. So, as you can see, the Repentia are amazing units, especially if you can end up keeping them alive. I will have to play around figure out if they will take damage if they're using that counterattack against somebody. I don't think they will, because now that they've reclassified it as a charge attacks don't cause you to get counterattacks. So if the game is consistent to the internal mechanics, then that should not cause them to get counterattacked anymore. Like I said in the past, because once you use their martyrdom ability, it would allow you to, every time one of those models died the following turn, you gain momentum with everybody that's around it. Now, the one thing I didn't get to show off because I have my canonist so far away is if you have a bunch of Repentia, they do a ton of damage, you know they're going to die, then the big thing is you want to have your canonist nearby, and then you want to have other units around your canonist, because the canonist does have a passive ability, whereas if other units die around her, then she'll gain momentum, and then everybody within one tile of her will gain momentum as well. And I think it's within 4 tiles of a unit that dies. So if you're going to have a bunch of Repentia that you know are going to die the following turn, like as you can see, I was aggressively positioning them into locations to attack the HQ. Now the AI was too stupid to maximize the amount of damage they could have done to me in that situation. But a real-life player is not going to have that issue. And so you're going to end up losing a lot of models, and you can definitely get your momentum going up pretty substantially for that. And if you know that's going to happen and you have the foresight, you could also end up using her, deliverance ability, the canonist's deliverance ability, and that'll get her 20% increased momentum, and that'll stay on to the enemy's turn. So if you start getting lots of units killed, then that's a way to really get your canonist up to max momentum, which will increase her survivability, and then the following turn allow you to just do shit tons of damage against your opponent. So keep that into consideration as well. I forgot to discuss that potential strategy using the Repentia as well. So not only do you use them as a glass cannon heavy damage dealer, but you can use them to help feed momentum to your other units. And then as you saw, if you do have them buffed up, they can survive the explosion damage. And, you know, if you end up giving them the rights of intercession, they have 2 attacks, and then you end up blowing a vehicle up in their face and they already have some momentum, well, then you're going to be able to surge and get a 3rd round of attacks off on them. So as you can see, there are ways that you can really use them to do tons of damage. And the key point is just trying to keep as many of those models alive as you can and try to get those stacks of increased melee accuracy in addition to the grazing chances to try to help them stay alive, so when they get attacked the following turn that they can actually survive. So definitely a lot of interesting play that the Repentia have now. They've always been kind of a more strategic play, but now they've really, a lot of these changes with the Adepta Sororitas have kind of made it like hit the easy button, and so I think it's going to make the Adepta Sororitas much easier for newer players to use, so you're not having to take all these weird things into consideration. Now you still do have to take some of them in, but it just seems like a lot of it has become simplified quite a bit. So I'm really liking a lot of these changes here. And like I said, I guess I didn't verify the charge attack isn't going to trigger an automatic counter, but again, if it's counted as a charge, coded as a charge attacks don't get counter attacks, so it shouldn't count. And then using that empowered ability, though, if you have them starting the turn empowered and you're playing a strategic command map and there's a unit halfway across the screen, I mean, as you could see, these guys could charge up to 6 tiles away. Actually it'd be 7, because you usually get a bonus attack just at baseline when you're charging. So I mean, that's a significant amount of damage, or a significant amount of distance that you could cover across a battlefield if there's some unit that's positioned onto a strategic command point that you just want to cross and be able to finish off to get the kills. So definitely very interesting, and I really enjoy those changes that they made for the Repentia here. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe to encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.